So we got one more speaker for you. We got Charles from EZO coming up here. Really interesting conversation. Come on, Charles, let's give him a warm round of applause.
So we have a video playing first, that's fine?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do I press?
Yeah, sure.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we actually have a quick video to show first. Maybe it is not working. Okay, then just too bad for the video.
We are often asked,
never
but
mind.
what's EZO's mission? Our goal is to reinvent payments and revolutionize how people manage and use money. Now, let's begin by looking at how payments work. Currently, a payment transaction involves 5 different parties: the card emitter, the card network, the terminal, the ISO, and the MSP. This chain was designed in the 1990s when communication between parties was limited and caused a lot of friction during the data transmission. As a result, merchants became responsible for paying fees to each of them. Modern countries are full of old terminals, and complex monthly statements are provided to merchants to trick them into believing they have a good deal. Additionally, the onboarding process is long and confusing. Most undeveloped countries have limited options, with large players holding monopolies and extorting fees directly from smaller merchants. Furthermore, modern products with updated infrastructure aren't accessible to businesses. With EZO Pay, it takes only 15 minutes for merchants to get onboarded to the most advanced payment solution on the market. Our unique approach to transmitting data allows EZO to replace traditional players and drastically reduces payment processing fees for any payment method. For the first time in 40 years, merchants will regain control of their payments. Our second goal is to revolutionize banking and money management. Now, it's no secret that people face extreme limitations with their current banking solutions. With the exception of a few online banks that provide limited utility, traditional banking is pretty much the only option in modern countries. Now, let's take a look at the other region of the world. In underdeveloped countries, almost everyone owns a smartphone, yet only 20% of them have a bank account. Due to inflation, lack of trust and transparency, reliability, or just general infrastructure, people prefer to keep cash under their mattresses. Additionally, the lack of payment solutions only makes matters worse. I mean, why bother with a bank card when you can't even buy food with it? By combining the flexibility and security of a decentralized ecosystem with the ease of use of a centralized solution, EZO creates a new experience for anyone, regardless of their location. With the support of fiat, crypto, and EZO Coin, EZO provides a never-before-seen solution to the unbanking problems facing almost half of the world's population. Within 15 minutes, users are onboarded and can access EZO Swap, EZO Earn, and EZO Pay. Through EZO Swap, users onboard their liquidity into the EZO ecosystem. EZO Earn gives them an alternative to traditional savings accounts, while EZO Pay gives them the ability to use their money worldwide without worry. Imagine not having to contact your bank or even obtain foreign currency before traveling. With 8 billion people and 1 billion businesses worldwide, EZO revolutionizes banking and payments in underdeveloped regions like Africa, the Middle East, South America, and Southern Asia, while also improving revenue and convenience for users in developed countries. Overall, EZO's goal is to integrate blockchain technology into the daily lives of both businesses and users around the world. Through our unique approach, we delegate the responsibility of managing and storing large amounts of data into the blockchain, leading to a faster, safer, and more cost-effective approach compared to anyone else. As we improve banking and payments, we will be able to demonstrate the full potential of the blockchain.
All right. So that was our first.
We are often asked,
Okay.
but what's EZO's mission?
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for coming to our speech. Some of you may know we had a lot of boot problem. Our stuff got lost in the plane. We had stuff prepared for the speech, had to modify it, redo multiple stuff. So that's why we're speaking at a time that wasn't supposed to be. So today is actually a very special day for us because it's going to be the first time that we're going to talk publicly about EZO. We kept EZO underground as long as possible because we first didn't want it to know that, didn't want that any competitor know we exist. We want to make an impact on the market, and that's what we're going to go today. Oops. Video is fine. Introduction. So today I'm going to take you into the journey about how EZO reinvent how people use money, make payments, banking, crypto, investment. First and foremost, a big thanks to the Rare EVO team for accommodating us with the multiple problems we had and providing us access to this amazing event. We look forward for next year as well. So my name is Charles Bergeron, and I'm the founder of this bold enterprise that is EZO. EZO is a Canadian fintech that was created in 2022, based in Quebec City. My journey in crypto started in 2017 when I first read that book. Unfortunately, it's not available in English because I would recommend to you all, called The Blockchain, the Revolution of Trust. As soon as I was finished reading that book, I was like, damn, payments are going to change, banking, accounting, especially investing. Everything is going to run on this in 5 years. Yet 6 years later, we see massive advancement in technology, but challenges still persist. The problem I envisioned in my mind are still present, and despite advancement, payment, banking, cross-border payment are still super slow, costly, and inaccessible for most people. Plus, merchants still use outdated technology that was created in the 21st century. Why are we still using technology that's older than anybody here at the moment? Why do I need to have 5 apps to do my basic payment, crypto, investment, cross-border transaction? It's a pain. And people think that's where blockchain technology comes into place, but to me, that's not true. Because yes, blockchain can be very, very good in specific use case, but in other ways, traditional technology remain and will forever, in my opinion, remain largely superior. And that's why we created EZO, where we take the best of CeFi and the strength of DeFi, and we combine them to make an hybrid that speak and work seamlessly anywhere at any time. Today I'm going to present to you our 4 products that we call EZO Swap, EZO Pay, and EZO Earn. All of these solutions combine into what we call the super wallet. So whether you're in America or in a field in Ethiopia, you're still going to be able to use the same amenities. We want to create a solution and an experience that brings everybody together. Briefly, let me take you into a quick history of the payment and banking industry. So for the last 150 years, payments have been on a constant evolution. With the first wire transfer done by Western Union in 1872 to the first Amex card/credit card in 1959, payments were becoming more and more involved into our daily life. Then the first credit card terminal came in 1979 and changed forever the way we would pay at the merchant. Then online banking, contactless payment, and cryptocurrency came into place. The last major innovation in the payment industry was Apple Pay, which, if you remember, came in 2016. Did you know, like, payments are part of our daily life. Every day, we do multitude of them. And did you know that when you tap your card, or when you enter your credit card number online, there's going to be 5 to 10 people involved before the merchant is paid? And this chain was created back, like we see in the video, back in the 1980s, where there was a lot of friction, and that caused a lot of fees for merchants. So when we started digging about EZO, we firstly focused on the payment side, and it quickly became very, very clear for us that problems were both for for customer, but for businesses also.
Help Rare EVO showcase a variety of stake pool operators and their missions around the world. Vote for Rare EVO Catalyst Proposal number 106811. Facilitating SPO travel and media production at high-value blockchain events worldwide.
So in modern country, like we said, merchants are super affected by outdated software, networking terminal, limited access, super high fee. Did you know that 1 in 3 merchants have been frauded? And we spend 5% of the global GDP every year just to prevent fraud. And that's not the actual cost of it. The actual cost of it, it's a lot bigger. In developing nation, there's large monopoly holded over merchant aid / absolutely no solution, and they're extorting them and blocking new innovation. In modern country, people are super frustrated with the banking experience. I'm frustrated with my banking experience. We have absolutely no choice except a few online banks that have practically no use case. I still have 5 or 6 apps on my phone to do my crypto investment, banking, money transfer all the time. And with, like in Canada, you guys don't have access to Binance, but Binance is getting kicked out of Canada. That's a huge pain for me personally. In other developed country, 8 out of 10 people have a bank account. Have a smartphone, sorry. Yet 20% of them have a bank account. Due to inflation, lack of trust, low transparency, reliability, general infrastructure, or just anything else, people prefer to keep cash under their mattresses. Plus, the lack of payment solution for businesses only make matter worse. Why bring innovation if you can use it? There's no point. And let's talk about money transfer quickly, which is a huge pain in this region. Did you know that the remittance market for that industry is projected to be $43 trillion in 2023, and that's just peer-to-peer, so not accounting businesses and everything else, which would amount around $160 trillion worldwide right now, and that's a number that Visa gave out. Like if you take let me rephrase that, over half of the world population experience banking with only a checking account. When you take a look at India, only 10% of the population actually use a real bank account. People prefer to keep their cash in apps like TransferWise, PayPal, because they don't trust the system, or it's still locking them in place, just like Ethiopia. In Africa, you have a solution like Orange Money, which put your money into your phone number. It's a super complex system and very limited that creates scenario like having to walk from villages to villages to villages to find a recharging point to top up your account. It became very clear to us that the financial problem that we found here can be found elsewhere. And that's why we created EZO. So the first thing we created was EZO Pay. With EZO Pay, businesses will be able to get payments in both crypto and fiat. Thanks to our innovative approach, the fees will be drastically removed. Within 15 minutes, using only a phone or a computer, they'll be able to get access to an easy-to-use dashboard that allows them to right away process payments. My personal preferred feature with EZO Pay is the capacity of taking a payment in the form X and get settled in Y. So that's super interesting for businesses overseas where the currency may not be the one that they want to be paid in, and they rather like get paid in USD. And for government, that's an interesting thing because they're going to be able to tax on quote-unquote better money. The payment industry is projected to make $9.6 trillion in revenue by 2026. That's a lot. All of this money are coming from merchant fee. With EZO, we aim to bring back that number and reinvest into success of the businesses. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's talk about EZO Pay user. So with EZO Pay user, kind of the same thing of EZO Pay business. Users are able to onboard the liquidity, whether fiat or crypto. They'll gain access to multiple means of payments, like a card, a virtual card, or an app for like peer-to-peer QR code payments. Thanks to universal ISO norms, so ISO stands for International Standard of Organization, that have been there for the last 40 years, which nobody is using them for some reason. We'll be able to provide a system that works anywhere seamlessly. So that means I could have some USD dollar on my phone. I turn my phone off, I go into Europe, in Paris, I tap my phone on the terminal, it's going to work. The merchant gets paid in the traditional local currency. It doesn't matter where you are, it will always work. That's not an option, it will. Within 15 minutes, so the same thing as businesses, user will be able to onboard themselves within EZO Pay. So let me share a small personal insight about this. One of my big advisors that we onboarded recently is developing new anti-corruption norm for Africa, new ESG norm for economic social governance. And he told me something that changed my life forever. He said, Charles, do you realize that when you're giving people over there a bank account, it's like telling them that you're becoming someone. And that thing struck me forever. and I knew that this was our true product market fit. 90% of the people in developing nation has never made an online purchase. So with EZO Pay, user gain new access to spend and manage their money. We're also going to be able to accommodate people who don't know the phone, because not everybody owns the phone. Our technology will be able to be carried out on a tag and is going to be able to work offline. That's something that we're very, very, very glad to have, because there's a lot of people that just don't have access to any form, shape or form of internet. World Mobile could tell you more about that. So with EZO Pay, we create a more fluid, global, and accessible experience for payment and banking. Our next services is EZO Swap. So EZO Swap, we couldn't do EZO without EZO Swap, because EZO Swap is the bridge, the onboarding tool, and the interpreter for all of our systems. So through EZO Swap, people will be able to experience on-ramp, fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat, crypto to crypto. You're also going to be able to do fiat to fiat, so cross-border transaction. We aim to do a system where people, you remember back in like 5 or 10 years ago, we will unlock our iPhone by swapping. Our experience with EZO Swap is going to be as simple as this. Through multiple means like Interac in Canada, ACH, Venmo, Cash App, Zeller in the US, maybe FedNow in the coming days, user will be able to onboard the liquidity into EZO Swap. So but that's not all. We're also aiming to do deals with local banks or local point of sales that will allow your user to onboard the liquidity. Remember 5 or 10 years ago when you were asked at the point of sale, hey, do you want to withdraw $20 with your transaction? Take this concept, twist it around. The final goal of EZO Swap is to do the bridge whenever people pay with EZO Pay. Let's say the example like I told earlier, I'm going to Paris with my USD. How does the merchant get paid in euro? That's all. So the final potential of EZO Swap is very, very huge, because it could be the key. Whoops. Okay, so there's an animation. So the final goal of EZO Swap is the potential to be the entry ticket for developing nation to the digital global economy. The final services is called EZO Earn. So with EZO Earn, it's super simple. We're just aiming to bring modern investment product to everybody. So whether you're in the Pacific, somewhere in Africa, or your penthouse, your $56 million penthouse in Manhattan, you'll have access to the same product. We're not aiming to reinvent the wheel with EZO Earn, just bring something good, but better. So we have 4 sub-products in EZO Earn, but we're only going to talk about 2 today. So the first one is a simple saving account. For people over this region, cash is king. So cash is king, needs to still exist. The second service is super simple, fractional stock, just like Wealthsimple or Robinhood for you guys in the US. So that means that somebody with only $5 from the other side of the world is going to be able to invest the same way that us Americans do. So people can now experience investment opportunity from the comfort of their home. Do you know that about 35% of the world has never made any investment in their life? So with EZO Pay, EZO Swap, we onboard people. With EZO Pay, we make people use it. And with EZO Earn, we make them stay. All of these services, we combine into what we call the super wallet, where we bring accessibility to people so that anyone can use it, and efficiency, where we reduce third-party involvement / cut friction. So with us, you won't need 5 or 6 apps anymore. All of your financial need into one experience. Whoops. And yet again, you'll be able to carry the super wallet through a card, a phone, or an app. So I want to give a little bit of insight about how we see blockchain. So people don't care about blockchain at the moment. And honestly, why should they? Despite advancement, adoption, there's not a lot of product that is really getting used today. So why would people care? And in the media, we got totally destroyed everything like SBF, Celsius, Voyager, etc. So banks and government, they don't see us as a threat anymore. Not at all. To me, I like to utilize blockchain like we're in the Ferrari chassis, but we're a tractor engine. There's a potential, but we have no power at the moment. This needs to change. To me, blockchain should be viewed in the same way that most of us do here. Streamlined fee structure, delegation of power, especially in Cardano, low-cost go-to-market adoption, potential where users become nodes, and scalability. It needs to be a simple, transparent, and usable product. For adoption to work, it needs to be a silent and fast and quick and easy process. We need to cut the complex transaction signature. We cannot have a world where if you lose a piece of paper, you lose all your money. It's never going to work. You're never going to be able to onboard 99% of the people in the world. And that's why EZO is there, to bring the ease of use and security of CeFi and the robustness and potential of freedom of DeFi, all combined into a quick, safer, cheaper, easier alternative that's easy for us to implement. So let me give you a bit of insight about CBDC and stuff, and how big player thinks. Last May, I was in Toronto at the Payment Summit Conference, which is the biggest payment conference in the world. I was seated besides VP of Bank of America, President of Visa MasterCard, Central Bank Director. We were over 2,000 people attended, and we were only two startups. It's not an industry where people innovate. It's a car industry. And CBDC and open banking were the hot topics. And trust me, CBDC are coming. It's not a matter of when, of if, but when. But the thing is that government, they don't know yet how they'll push CBDC to the market. So their opinion is that they'll go through payment provider like us and banks to push it to adoption. And guess who's aiming to be a major player in that? Us. Just in Canada, cash use is projected to drop to less than 5% in 2026. If you go in Tunisia, the other side of the world, and you pay for something in cash, you're going to get taxes 15% higher. That's insane. So cash is and will become obsolete way faster than people think. I don't remember the last time I paid in cash. I know you Americans are very, very cash heavy, but in Canada, not that much. So in my opinion, CBDC aren't all that bad because they were mostly, and that's very clearly, in their mind, it was invented to cut financial fraud because fraud is all they talk about. And theoretically, if financial fraud goes down, government revenue goes up, and taxes should be lowered. That's for sure going to be, and in fact, I'll talk to politicians, and it's going to be a topic soon. So regulation. In our industry, every blockchain project that's looking toward adoption needs to understand that regulator are the yin and the yang. There's absolutely no way that you cannot have no regulator. It would be total anarchy. Disruptive financial innovation, especially a financial one, cannot exist without regulatory oversight. Just to give you a quick, and as a Canadian, we know very well what we're talking about. Just to give you an example, where you guys have 5,000 banks, we only have 80, and the ratio people per bank is very, very much higher. So people tell us, oh, the regulator, it's a brick wall, it's a disadvantage. No. We see this as an opportunity. For us, I cannot remember how many times I've been asked, oh, why did you choose Canada? Why would you go to Dubai? Why are you doing this somewhere else? Was it super easy? There's no regulation. And my answer will and forever stay the same. First of all, we're Canadian. Then, by starting at the top, it can only get easier, you know. And Canada is viewed by a lot of people in the world to be super trustful, uncorruptible regarding regulation. So by starting in Canada, we'll be able to build credibility that's future-proof when we go all over the world. Do not underestimate the power of the Canadian flag. In my opinion, education is the key. We need to teach regulators what we do, how we do it, how to navigate our industry, and they need to teach us how to be compliant. That's the only way it's going to work. We need to prove that we can be compliant even in a decentralized ecosystem. We need to change perception. At EZO, we're not only about reshaping perception, we're also making a reality that compliance can be the way. So quickly, let me go into our roadmap. So as you recall, we have 3 projects: EZO Pay, EZO Earn, EZO Swap. For EZO Swap, it's done, it's working, we tested the market, we're only waiting for proper licensing to launch it. For EZO Pay, we're developing at the moment, and EZO Earn will quickly follow. We're not just aiming, we're launching MVP. Sorry for the small grammar typo with minimum. We're launching MVP in 6 different countries before the end of Q2 2024. France, Germany, Portugal, Canada, France, Germany, Portugal, Tunisia, Guinea. Maybe Ethiopia with a few meetings I had this week, so I'm going to dig more into that. But why these countries, you may ask? Because they each have their unique challenges and regulatory environment that we consider covers all potential environment on the planet. So with EZO Pay, we're going to start with local mom-and-pop shop in Canada that have been craving for a better solution for the last 40 years. With EZO Pay user, we're going to focus on Canada, Tunisia, and Portugal, where cash use is, Portugal is a very specific environment where there's a mix of no solution and super cash heavy. And Tunisia, we have a lot of contacts to very go in depth there, plus local market. For EZO Swap, we're going to totally disrupt the Canadian market for both CBPR and on-ramp. To give you an example, just in Canada, the crypto market, just for on-ramp, so not crypto trading like Binance, just cash to crypto and crypto to cash, is 5 to 8 billions a year and 100 billions of volume for CBPR. These numbers may be very small compared to the rest of the world, yet they are enough for us to achieve self-sustainability before Q3 2024. In the meantime, we'll also be meeting politician, central bank director, regulator, and bank president. To give you a small glimpse of our future, I'm actually flying out in Tunisia in 2 months to go meet with central bank director, bank president, and a lot of big key decision players, thanks to one of our advisors. So quickly, to recap, there's 3 things we do with our money. We make money, spend money, and we invest money. Through EZO, we aim to revolutionize the way we manage and use money. We're not just aiming to rewrite the script and the narrative. We want to bring financial disruption for the benefit of all, whether businesses or consumers. Okay. So in the same way that cell phone open developing nation to the world, EZO will open financial sustainability to everyone. So as Abraham Lincoln said, the best way to predict the future is to create it, and that's exactly how we're going to do at EZO. Thank you for your time.